to make black people feel bad. I just don't lie. I'm not lying. And in order to address a problem, everybody says the so-called black community's got a problem that we need to fix it. I agree. You first and foremost need to be honest with yourself. We commit more crime. And we can get into the various crimes, white-collar crimes, blue-collar crimes. But I would say we commit the most everyday, generic, battery, assault, robbery crimes than anybody. Gotta be honest. And some of y'all say, well, poverty makes people involve themselves in these types of behavior, this type of lifestyle, crime. This is a result of poverty. Well, why are poor whites not as violent? Why are poor whites not committing just as much crime as white? Whether it's a problem. A lot of people said that judge down in Texas said Hispanics and blacks are more predisposed to crime. I would say that's true. I think perhaps there's something, could be genetically, that allows certain cultures, groups, to be more violent. I'm open to that idea.
Not a YouTuber. I just like making videos. You know what I'm saying? And as far as this video right here, I'm going in on Painless. I've been watching a couple of videos. I've been watching his videos. And I don't agree with hardly anything this guy says. I don't see how black people can watch his rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? And give that the green thumb. Or the thumbs up. Okay. And let's talk about me for a second. First of all, you know what I'm saying? I've never been to jail. I got no baby mothers, no kind of criminal past, you know, and I show my face because there's nothing I'm ashamed of that I've done. There's nothing that I've done that's on the record that I'm ashamed of. Unlike a lot of these Uncle Ruckuses. And Painless, man, you need to take off those shades, man, because when people try to disguise themselves, in my opinion, you know, their words, you know what I'm saying, don't really mean hardly anything, because could just be saying it for YouTube views, and we all know that YouTube is accepting applications for Uncle Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Painless always goes in on black people, black crime, and this and that. He's a George Zimmerman supporter. Tell you this right now, I've spent 4 years of my life working inside a jail. Seeing some of the roughest, hardcore, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers, homo thugs, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of degenerates, Neanderthals, you know, dudes that make some dudes shit they pants, you know, and even after that, after dealing with what I had to deal with, being assaulted, people throwing stuff at me, you know, I still don't have this sort of disdain for blacks as these Uncle Ruckuses have. And I'm somebody who stayed out of trouble my whole life, you know what I'm saying? I'm not some dude who just, you know what I mean, just coming off the street mad because somebody's criticizing blacks. I look at things logically, you know what I'm saying, almost as a world point of view. The black community, that's just small. I'm looking at everything completely globally. I'm a military brat, you know, so I've, you know, traveled a lot of places, been overseas, you know what I'm saying, been to mad different places before I was old enough to drink. So I'm well versed. Read a lot of books. But okay, enough about me. We're about to talk about Painless and how he talks about blacks are just ultra violent. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want to talk about the American bald eagle. You know what I'm saying? Why is the American bald eagle on the endangered species list? Why is it a protected species? Why is our national bird endangered. I'm like, who's killing the bald eagle? You know what I'm saying? Is it black people in the hood? They seeing that bird, or you know what I'm saying, popping shots off at it? You know, we know how it does. Same thing. That bird would probably go extinct. Same thing with the dodo bird. You know what I'm saying? So Painless talk about black people committing crime. So I'm talking about, okay, what crimes are we talking about here? Majority of people in jail, specifically blacks, are in jail for non-violent offenses. Marijuana, drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? If a dude's a drug dealer who's used to having, you know what I'm saying, $10,000 in his pocket on a bad day, when he gets out of jail, I don't think he's gonna, you know, worry about robbing me for my petty cash. You know, I think he's trying to he's trying to hit that block up. One Painless talks about if he's walking down the street and he'll himself be paranoid because of blacks, because you know blacks are aggressive and violent. I'll tell you this: I was at an ATM one night. It's 1:30 in the morning. Don't ask me what I was doing at the ATM at 1:30 in the morning, because just like Chris Rock said, it's nothing good. And 3 black guys just came off the corner. I'm like, this ATM was at a plaza and it was closed. There was hardly any cars there. 3 black dudes just walked by me, see me withdraw money, and they just walked on past. Didn't even give me a second look. You know, but seeing them startled me. But of course, I'm at ATM. Miss Butterworth could have crept behind that corner, and that would have scared me. So, you know, these guys had a perfect opportunity to really jack me up. You know what I'm saying? And get money out of my bank account, but they did. You know, thing is with the hood is that you if you mind your business, most likely people ain't gonna bother you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying stuff happens, but as far as black criminal behavior, America nurtures it, and America, in my opinion, condones it. Like, look at all the gangster rappers that are out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, white people eat that shit up. You know what I'm saying? The white people were so against this black crime rate, they want to embrace everything negative about blacks. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the coon and the buck dancer on the screen there, embracing gangster rap, Lil Wayne, Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? White people don't listen to rap groups like X-Clan or Killer Priest. You know, they used to, but you know, let's face it. And also about America's ultra-violent culture. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how blacks take the rap for everything. Now, black people was responsible for all this thing. Black people be very wealthy and rich. You know what I'm saying? Everything that is detrimental in the black community was manufactured, polished, signed, sealed, and delivered by white people. Drugs, crack cocaine, that was developed by white people. Matter of fact, there's a documentary called Cocaine in America, whatever. Look at that documentary. What else? Guns. You know, all this violent video games, ultra violent movies. You know what I'm saying? People getting shot up every minute, heads exploding. You know what I'm saying? Spinal cords popping out of people's back. Those Quentin Tarantino movies, yeah. So white people, and I'm not saying that we have a violent culture. You know what I'm saying? We're entertained by this violence. We like listening to violent music, and whether it be rap or that hardcore heavy metal bullshit. But then when people actually commit violence, they're like, oh no, how did this happen? You know, like those violent video games. Black people don't design and publish those violent video games. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. So, you know, it's funny. And black street culture, you know what I'm saying, on an entertainment level, white people eat that shit up. You know, but on a broad, you know what I'm saying, America is, you know what I'm saying, America is a straight thug nation. You know what I'm saying? We go over to other people's countries and kick them down, bomb them up, torture prisoners, take pictures next to dead bodies, you know. But that thing's on a grand scale. So we're talking about, you know, black people in the hood. Black people in the hood. Okay, let's get back on on subject here. Also, what Painless said something. He said that if black people and white people were the same population, he literally said this is that there'll be still a lot more black people in jail. I'm like, this is, and there's no data that prove that. If there was an even playing field, yeah, I think there'd definitely be more more, no, if it's an even playing field, there'll be more black police officers, more black judges, black people have more political power. So yeah, there won't be this excess number of people in jail. And first of all, in America, if you ban guns and make drugs legal, you eliminate 85% of the crime. You know, but I understand, you know what I'm saying, this is America, you can't ban guns. But this whole thought of black people being prone to crime, they're predisposed to crime, they just like committing crime in the crime area, it's a very dangerous way of thought. You know what I'm saying? This is why these YouTube coons fucking disgust me. Think about the Charles Stewart case that happened in Boston in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't the 40s or the 50s, where this man murders his pregnant wife and then blames it on some black guy, and people automatically reacted. They went crazy. White people went inside the ghetto, and horses and full battalion. You know what I'm saying? Stringing up every black guy. They did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't follow through on the case. They nabbed some black dude and was ready to book him. It was from some, and the case was supposed to be closed. Everybody wanted the case to close, and you know, and this one female, she decided to actually look into it. You know what I'm saying, to see who the culprit was, and she just did her job and found out the guy was guilty. This dude was getting pedicures, getting a new car with the insurance money from his wife. I'm like, his story pretty much collapsed because this female, this detective actually did her fucking job. And so what Painless is doing is very dangerous. Just saying black people commit crimes, that means when a crime is committed against blacks, or when a white person want to blame blacks, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you're right. Look at this. Look at the stats right here. It's like, you know what I'm saying, the George Zimmerman thing. You know what I'm saying? Trayvon Martin was guilty. And I also want to go into a thing he said about Trayvon. He said Trayvon Martin was on a path to being a thug. Unless Trayvon Martin having juvenile record, unless he had a record, you can't say that, because everything Trayvon Martin did, I did, and I've never spent a day in jail or in juvenile. I've smoked weed in the bathroom with white boys. You know what I'm saying? Because white boys be doing some crazy ass shit. They just don't get caught. You know what I'm saying? They don't get ran up in the funnies. You know, I skipped school. I remember one time I threw a pencil at the bus driver. I got suspended from school. I flicked off a teacher. So you can even, and plus I was a little fucking kleptomaniac. I used to steal video games and all this other shit. It was just kind of like the dumb things kids do. You know what I'm saying? The dumb things I did. I got out of it. You know what I'm saying? By the time, so you can't say somebody's on a path to thugdom. Especially here in America. America is just, as I said before, is just a kind of like a thugged out ass country. And the thing is with you, as much as you want a buck dance for the white man and agree with his logic, because you get your information from you don't get real stats. All your information you get is from your white daddy. It's like you're the black voice for your white daddy. So therefore, thinking logically, I should bypass you. Why should I listen to you when I can go ahead and just listen to what your white daddy got to say about black people? Because that's where you get your falsifying information from. You're not reading, you know what I'm saying, any books about. I bet you haven't even read the book about the war on drugs was really the war on blacks. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And if the white man gets in his animal control patrol truck van and decide he wanted to grab every nigger he sees off the street, you know, and put him inside that monkey cage, you best believe you're going to be sharing that monkey cage with some thugged out dude that you feel uncomfortable being around. You know what I'm saying? He'll toss you in that same category. Also, and I already know about, you made that post on that for that racist 911 dispatcher April Sims. You agreed with her. You know what I'm saying? And said she was right about blacks. A 19-year-old girl, you know what I'm saying, who probably got a whole family full of fucking meth heads. Because white people are doing meth like it's ain't no fucking tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I've seen those meth clinics with long lines of fucking white people. That's the thing about you fucking buck dancers, you know what I'm saying? You're too busy with your nose in a white man's fucking ass crack to even notice him farting in your goddamn face. You know, she was a racist female in Texas. You best believe if that was the 1930s in Texas and you brush up against that white girl, she'll have you hung from a fucking tree. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the game goes. You know? And if you was to walk in Texas right now, she see you walking down the street, she'll try to avoid you. Actually, most females will try to avoid you, but, you know, yeah, your argument is weak. It's horrible, it's terrible, it's predictable. You know what I'm saying? You stuck up for George Zimmerman. Your facts about blacks are illogical. And also, why aren't there African, you talking about blacks being criminal, why aren't there African immigrants being thugged out? You'll think African immigrants who just came off that boat, you know what I'm saying, will be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, let me get the 40 ounce, you know what I'm saying, and my gat, you know what I'm saying. You think, no, they're hard workers, you know what I'm saying. It's like a lot of immigrants are. But, you know what I'm saying, I've been overseas, and when you go overseas, it's a whole different ball game. You talk about Asians don't commit crime, go to Sri Lanka. Go to them places where there's people selling their own kids. If you're American with change in your pocket, they wouldn't hesitate to rob you. Go over to Europe. In Europe, they're about to bring Adolf Hitler back. They got a strong emergence of the neo-Nazis and Golden Dawn in these places, man. So it's, you know what I'm saying, situation's getting quite critical, and someone like you is not helping the matter. You know, so keep on spewing your hate, your illogical rhetoric, you know what I'm saying, and just being a pet for your white daddy. I'm out.